Right, so we've had a look at experiences, we've created one of our own, and we've had a look at how we can contribute to the insights of someone else's experience. Now, let's do something outrageous. Let's look at the dashboard. This is where we actually turn those insights into actions. This is the most uh, intricate part of the system. So I'm going to barrel through things and you can come back and have a look at things. We'll give you more detail, but this is just an overview to get you oriented. So when we first get here, we see all of the different policies and procedures that have been flagged by people as problematic. And we've got an idea here of how many have indicated that that's a problem. So we've got 7 people say, and we can see what they're saying. The code of conduct. So the code of conduct has been flagged by a number of people, a number of different circumstances. So these are all the policies and procedures that have been flagged. These are the systems and tools that have been flagged, metrics and rewards, etc., etc. Well, okay, well, why are people flagging the code of conduct? So if we click on the code of conduct there, it's highlighted. And what we can now see is that we're showing all experiences that cite the policy and procedure code of conduct. These are all of people's experiences, all the stories that have triggered people to flag, hey, the code of conduct's problematic here. So this is a way for us to see at a glance what the human stories are about customer service complaint escalation process. So here's 2 stories on complaint escalation. Here's what people are saying about no personal items in the workspace. So let's have a look at the running effective meetings. We've got 29 people saying that we have problems with, or we need some structure for running effective meetings. We have problematic meetings. And these are the stories. So here's our own story, previous meetings, previous stories, previous stories, previous stories. Okay, so we're getting a theme here. Lots of people are having problems with meetings, and we've got half a dozen there. Imagine if there was 500 there. All of the people who are, every time they have a bad experience with a meeting, they come here and put it on. Now we don't have 29 people saying we have a problem with effective meetings. We have 529 people saying that. So this is what gives us a bit of the okay to say this is something that we need to fix. This is affecting lots of people, and it's affecting lots of people. It's also affecting productivity. It's also affecting morale. It's also affecting how we're delivering services to our customers. So it has a flow-on effect for every aspect of, in this case, the business. So we can look at these factors, and the idea is that these factors are things that we can look at solving. And we do that by making pledges. So if we've got something selected over here, we can go to the Pledges tab. Our contention is that there's always something everybody can do to help address a problem. Doesn't matter how senior you are or junior you are, how new you are, how much of a veteran you are at that organization, there's always something that everyone can do. And that comes down to making pledges. These are things that you can say, this is the factor that caused the problem. I don't want that problem to exist anymore, so I'm going to do what I can to fix this little thing here. So when it comes to running an effective meetings, we can see some pledges that have already been made. I will explain what we've got here, and you can have a look. So this pledge is to decline any meeting that won't involve making decisions, creative planning, learning from an expert, or completing a task. And what we can see here is 7 people have said this is a great idea. What we can see here is that 4 people have committed to doing this, so they are actively going to decline. And when they've done it, actually 19 times they have declined meetings. So that's starting to send a message to the organisers of the meetings. And if everyone in a meeting declines that meeting because there's no agenda or there's no reasonable hope that it's going to achieve the outcome, then it's likely to trigger a rethinking of things. These are the things that anyone can do. And it's very easy to commit to it just by clicking the button. You've now committed to it, and it'll show up in your list of things to do. And once you've actioned it, you can come over here and say, I've actioned it. I can tick one of those things off on my list. Now, this is what I mean by lots of small actions. Everyone can do just 1 or 2 small things, and it will make things better. All right, so that's one way to do things. And we have a look at conversation. This is where we can talk about what we're doing. It's very easy to offer encouragement to someone who's been brave enough to come on here and make a suggestion or appreciate what they're saying. And as I say, this is where you can put resources as well. So we can see some videos have been put in, but it's also very easy to add a new video and have it appear in the list for others to see. You can also put in any corporate documents that might be relevant. So if you've got formal copies of policies or value statements that are not being complied with, here's where you can upload those. And in a lot of cases, once we see issues that are coming up time and time again, we can actually recommend some high quality resources. So these are the things you can do. So all of what we're doing is about running effective meetings here. That's one way of doing things. So we look at the factors that are problematic, and if we unclick it and go back to experiences, there we go. So this is the full list of factors, and this is the full list of experiences within an organization. The list goes on and on and on. Most recent is at the top. So we can start with factors, and it can tell us what stories prompted it. We can do the other way around as well. So we can look at this particular experience here, and we can see that these are all of the things that have been flagged as being problematic. So we can see someone here has flagged Miriam. Let's see what they say. Miriam, you've been here for a while. Do you have any historical insights as to why we use meetings to cover our butts so much? That's something that Miriam can get involved in answering. Yeah. So again, we can look at any story anywhere, regardless of what the topic is. Not allowed to give ratings that reflect performance. What are the issues there? Okay, so annual performance reviews, bonus structure, employee satisfaction surveys, quarterly shareholder returns. And we have these cultural issues again, culture of not pushing for what's right, and that people here are disposable, interchangeable, and mistreatable. All right, so we're getting a pattern here. Again, to fix the problem of not being allowed to give ratings that reflect real performance, maybe me as an individual, I don't have control over that policy, but maybe there's something that I can do in relation to having a conversation with Akbal, because I spend some time with Akbal. So let's have a look at the pledges and see, is there something that I can do? Oh, look, there's already a pledge to engage with Akbal. I can endorse that. I can commit to it. And when the time comes, I can action that. So I've just done my little thing to have a chat to Akbal in order to resolve an experience that someone had with being able to give ratings that reflect performance. So I've done my bit to help that. So this is what it's all about. You can look at all experiences or just my experiences. The same with pledges. You can look at all pledges, or you can just look at pledges that I have committed to. And these are the ones that I have committed to. So it's a great place to come here and say, ooh, I pledged to engage with Akbal, but I haven't done that yet. I should really do that. So I go and have a conversation with Akbal, and I come back here and I say, hey, I've actioned that pledge. Brilliant. Lots of small actions, big differences, big changes. Thanks for playing.